Hey, I'm Ted Vieira, and today I just want to talk about a quick photography tip, but it's an important one because it's about inspiration, right? Inspiration. Man, that source that excites us, motivates us, it's what compels us to create these photographs, to create this artwork that, hopefully will touch others, maybe even inspire other people. But so where do we get this inspiration? Because I've been hearing a lot, it seems like a lot more from other photographers recently, and it's something that we all go through, but we'll get these creative ruts, right? We're just not inspired. We're not motivated. Why even bother to go out and shoot? We've got amazing gear. It's amazing, but we're just not inspired. So where do we get this inspiration from? Well, there's YouTube, right? There's like there's a lot of photography channels on YouTube. You can learn amazing lighting setups, composition, uh, learn about that new piece of gear. It's going to change your world, right? But the thing that we don't talk about a lot is the content of your photos, right? What's the heart and soul of your photos? What are the stories that you're telling? Well, that's hard to talk about because it's different for each person, right? What matters most to you? What's most important to you? What's the kind of photography that you would be proud to be known for? The kind of photos that you would just love creating and sharing with people. That's the kind of stuff you should be shooting all the time, right? Not only should you be shooting it all the time, but that's the kind of content, that's the kind of subject matter you should be just immersing yourself in, right? Whatever it is that's really important to you, I'm going to suggest taking a break from YouTube, unless you're finding it on YouTube. But take whatever's really important to you. Is it people? Is it landscapes? Is it sports, documentary stuff? But just immerse yourself in that culture. And for example, I love film, right? I love movies. I love movies. It's storytelling. It's pure storytelling. If you want to see great lighting, great composition, man, you can't find a better source than watching movies. That stuff is, man, it's done, right? And I particularly like film noir from from the last century. I love that strong use of shadows, that mystery, a dramatic lighting. It can be dramatic and subtle at the same time. Fantastic sense of story, even in still photography. If you look at a lot of the kind of stuff that I shoot, yeah, it's not hard to make the connection. It has a very noir look. I love strong shadows. I love to lose the detail in the shadows, dramatic lighting, high contrast. But if you notice in a lot of my photos, you won't see people, right? Or if you do see someone, it's more likely to be kind of a silhouette, that kind of thing. And what I'm trying to do here is, if you see a photo and it's of a person and they're very prominent in the photo, then they're the subject. The photo is about them. But if you see a shot that's more of a scene, what I'm hoping is that that draws the viewer in more. Maybe engages their imagination. They can imagine themselves in the scene and create their own story of what's happening, right? And so when that starts to happen, you've got participation. And that's something different than just looking at a photograph. And I think that's kind of cool. And even with my intimate portraiture work, when people do beauty stuff, a lot of the time it's very evenly lit. You can see everything. I still love a strong sense of shadow. There's more depth to the photo, more mystery, and to me just has a much stronger effect. So I love classic black and white movies, that film noir stuff. Um, it's got so much drama, so much mood, so much intimacy, so much feel to it. Great lighting, great composition. I want to bring that to my photography, so I watch a lot of that stuff. I like new stuff too. I like real creative filmmakers like David Lynch or Quentin Tarantino, right? Are you guys Twin Peaks fans? They had the third season on this year on Showtime, right? Man, David Lynch, I love his black and white stuff because they have this one dream sequence. I don't know what episode it's in, but I'll link to it down below because if you love black and white, it's a scene where David Lynch's character is having this dream with Monica Bellucci in it. It's gorgeous. Like I said, if you love black and white, you will love this. So check it out. But that's the kind of stuff that really inspires me. Seeing other creative people make just beautiful work like that, that has so much mood, so much intimacy, so much vulnerability. And that's what I want to bring to my photographs, so I immerse myself in that kind of stuff. I love jazz. I love listening to jazz like Coltrane or Miles Davis, Ella, Basie, that kind of stuff. Because not only does that inspire me, musically, but it gives me visual concepts as well. So I listen to that kind of stuff. So, what's important to you? What's important to put in your photography? What do you want your photographs to say? Get away from the YouTube stuff for a while. Take a break from that and just really focus on the kind of content that you want to produce in your photography. If you love sports, maybe watch a lot of sports documentaries. Think about a way that you can take this big, cool game and break it down to a personal story, that kind of stuff. It's up to each person to figure out what works best for them. But get away from the photography channels where you're just learning about, the process, and get into life. There you'll find much more inspiration. Anyway, hey, I hope this helps. I'm Ted Vieira, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.